Hello, and welcome to Troubles in Toraigh. This is session 15 of our first campaign of Chronicles of the Fae. I'm Faye, the MC for this campaign, and with me I have some friends, and tonight we're going to play D&D. This campaign is a special project, one of many set in the world of the Wilder. The Wilder Project is a shared world IP where creators can use the structure and lore of this fantasy world called the Wilder in order to create their own stories and games. Some of these stories and games are already in progress, such as our webcomic Magnum L, our mobile game Tower of Gaia, and our tabletop board game Kingstone, all of which are currently released or coming soon. To learn more about these projects and how to support them, you can go to www.thewilderproject.com to learn more. Before we begin the campaign proper, I would just like to cover some of my ground rules for the channel. First, it's important to remember that I am not a professional DM, nor are my players professional role players. We have receptive ears and open hearts for any feedback that folks have, but it's our game, and ultimately we're going to play it how we like it. So we hope you'll respect our playstyle, and we'll make sure our other community members respect yours too. Along those lines, this campaign is set in the world of the Wilder, which is not directly compatible with D&D rules. For the most part, we'll be sticking to the rules of D&D for all the mechanical aspects of the game, but flavor-wise, everything is not always going to be a perfect fit between in-game descriptions of effects and how we explain those effects in this world. We are implementing some custom rules that we anticipate releasing in a module further down the line so that you can play D&D in the world of the Wilder too. Finally, one of the reasons why I love playing D&D the most is because you can never really expect what might happen next, but that does mean that none of us will have complete control over the content that we will be covering during the course of the campaign. Please be mindful of what content might be potentially distressing to you, and if you feel like it is coming up, we highly encourage you to take a break from the live stream and pick the story back up via VOD on YouTube once the live play is over. All right, let's play some D&D. Last we left off, you all had received a rather unpleasant contract from Veo, your Thieves Guild contact. The instructions of this contract were to assassinate the ward of a noble family of toy soldiers known as the Musts. The Lord Cornelius Must is a House Assemblyman and the deciding vote on an upcoming piece of legislation called the Privateering Act, which is against the interests of the Greybloods, as it would disproportionately benefit the pirating guild called the Golden Grin. Your orders were to kill a woven ward of the Must family and leave behind a note threatening further harm to Cornelius Must's blood relatives, unless he votes no on the Privateering Act. Unhappy with the prospect of killing an innocent Fomorian, your group began discussing alternative ways that they might be able to satisfy your contract with the Greybloods while also sparing the Wolven's life. You ventured to the Sleek Blossom, the enforcer safe house that had been provided for your group in the Keelhall Heights district. There you met Captain Alphonse Atlas, who encouraged your group to stay the course and offered to help arrange for the ward to be kept under secret protection until the vote on the Privateering Act was held. Happy with that solution, your group split up. Flynn headed to the Market District seeking information on a sleeping potion that might be used to peaceably kidnap the ward to safety without harming her, but found all his alchemist contacts to be very tight-lipped about where such a concoction could be found. Flynn decided to set off to the docks with the rest of his day. Raina and Reuben set out to the city plaza to see if they might be able to gain any insight into what they might face at Must Manor. At a tavern called the Ye Old Cup Inn, the two of you overheard some guards of a noble house discussing their arrangements. And with some slick talk from Reuben, you were able to learn that the Must Mansion does not employ any guards for the interior of the estate overnight. Meanwhile, Anna and Shoal set off to find some Fomorian graveyards where they might be able to rob some woven remains in order to fake the assassination, and that is where we pick back up now. So it's about middle of the early afternoon now as Anna and Shoal are walking through the streets of Toraigh. What was a sunny day is now becoming quite overcast. As you make your way around the outskirts of the Boat-like Market District, on your left you have the large, looming, haphazardly built, multi-lever structures of the city of Torreigh's downtown, and on your right you have the level, flat plateau of the cliff top, which is covered in farmland with a variety of different crops blowing through the breeze. And in the center of all those farms, you can see the city plaza off in the distance with its large, regal governmental buildings standing tall amongst the farmland. And the two of you are venturing off on your own. Is there anything the two of you are doing while you're walking?
feel like we're probably just like chatting about life and stuff.
Yeah. I would say Shoal is probably looking for any dead wolvens
Okay,
that just happen to be on the street.
sure. Yeah, make a perception check for dead Wolven street for Wolven roadkill.
Gosh.
Roll. There we go. Oh, what a tease! 9.
With a 9, there doesn't seem to be any dead bodies on the side of the road right now. It is the middle of the day, so there's a lot of foot traffic. And you follow the gravel path down towards the city wall that kind of separates the Lev Dwarfs from the rest of the city. And you begin to descend the familiar cliffside roadway that you know as Cliffdown Row. You follow along behind this one large green-skinned troll who is slowly controlling the descent of a empty cart that is behind him, and it just reeks of fish. And you can see in the back of it the odd fin and eyeball, like half a skeleton and other fish grime that fills the basin of his cart. He's shirtless, and tattooed back is covered with either sweat or slime, and it's not really clear. That's kind of glistening in the mid-afternoon sun that's fading behind the clouds. And on the opposite side of the row, you can see strapping orcs and fish folk and skeletons all pulling carts behind them, or with large crates in hand, struggling up the final slope of this steep climb. The city wall ends, and you come to a section of Cliffdown Row that is just sheer cliff face, with the left side just being an open drop, and then the other just steep cliffside. And below you can see the sprawl of the ledge dwarfs, a veritable jungle of 100-foot tall piers and dangling cranes and ropes that very recently some of you descended down and fled beneath. They kind of line either side of this inlet that leads in from the ocean towards the shore of the docks. Either of you or both of you can go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
It's gonna be one of these nights. 14.
17.
17, very nice. So Anna and Shoal, you can both see out in the bay of this inlet, you can see there's a large ship making its way inwards towards the shore level docks. Not the ledge wharf, which are hundreds of feet up, but the much larger docks that connect directly to the promenade where all the pirates were gathered that one evening.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Like it was only 2 nights ago.
That's right. This large ship has 4 masts, and on the central one flies a large black flag with a feline-looking skull and skeletal wings extending behind the skull on either side. You can also see there is a large crowd of longshoremen gathering on one of the larger docks down by the shore. It's a large collection of Fomorians with some toys as well, all dressed in kind of plain clothes, mostly sailor's pants or shirtless with like a plain tunic or cloth caps on their heads. All of the figures in the crowd from this distance appear to be watching the approach of this ship. And Anna, on a 17, you notice that as you're descending the row here, there's one figure amongst the crowd milling up and down Cliffdown Road that is not moving at all. It's a large form kind of sitting on a rock that's opposite. It's on the cliff's edge on the other side of the wall that kind of borders this descent. It's a large owl bear with dark brown, almost fur-colored feathers. It has a large black cloth cap over its large head, and a dirty tan kind of tank top with feathers that poke through the cloth here and there, and torn dark blue pants that fray just above where his feet begin. He's kind of sitting on his knees, just eyeing the crowd with dark, beady black eyes and a furrowed owl-like brow, just kind of staring at everybody.
Just watching?
Just watching, yeah. You continue on down the slope, and you begin to see a few things that are familiar to you. The first being the Shoaling School, which is this kind of large abbey-looking structure that is built into the cliff's face, just a few 100 feet off of the row. And then a bit further down, there is the path that leads up to the ledge horse where you had your first escapade. And a little bit time further down, you finally reach the bottom of Cliffdown Row, and you can see across the way there, the kind of the intersection where the road meets, you can see the Rock Bottom Bar, which you have both visited before. Now that you've arrived at the docks, what is it that you were looking to do?
I think Shoal will first turn to On and be like, that flag, that looks like Veo. Do you think they might know what to do, where to find a body?
Remind me about the flag again.
So it was essentially like it's a skull and crossbones, but it's of its own like. So instead of being a humanoid skull, it looks more like the skull of a cat.
Okay.
And it has kind of like skeletal wings coming out beside the back of the skull. And the ship is approaching nearer now if you'd like to make another perception check to get a better gander at it, if you're curious about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have no faith, but
Another
okay, same,
14.
17.
On a 17, you are further down now, so it's not as good of a perspective, but you can see the flag clearly above all of the buildings and other ships headed towards the shore. And you get a closer look now, and you can actually see that in the mouth of the skull, one of the fangs of this feline skull is painted gold.
This is on a ship, right? This okay.
Yep, it's hanging from the top of the crow's nest of the central mast of a massive ship. In comparison to all the other ships you saw in the bay on the way down, it is the largest.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Veo does not have a golden fang.
She does not, no.
She also doesn't
Okay.
have wings coming out of the back of her head.
That is true. Not to your knowledge.
Actually, on closer inspection, it does not look like Veo too much.
I mean, I can understand the first thought though, because it is very cat-like. But also, considering we are trying to find some Fomorian remains, and Veo is very much not a Fomorian, that probably wouldn't have been the best course of action anyway.
So, do you think they don't know where to find a dead Wolven?
I mean, they might, but I don't know how to go about this in a way that doesn't make us look super suspicious if we're just walking around asking for bodies. It might be better saying like, oh, we are newer to town but we had family in town and they were buried somewhere. We were told maybe the docks, but we don't know. And then have someone direct us to like a graveyard or something.
We like that idea. But we do know that we look suspicious with this cloth sack on our head.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we can't do much about that right now.
No.
Sorry, bud.
Would you mind doing the talking?
I mean, I can try. At least I am seemingly a Fomorian at the moment. So, I might be able to get at least that much. Yeah. So the owl bear's just kind of like overseeing everything.
Yeah, they're long gone at this point.
Oh,
now
okay.
that you're further down, but they were essentially kind of like the equivalent of like sitting on the side of the road, and it looked like they were just staring down everybody who walked by.
Cool.
Including us?
Just he's a neighborhood watch.
Yeah,
you
didn't notice with a 17 perception check. You didn't notice anything, any like outward reaction to seeing you as opposed to anyone else or anything like that.
Okay, then I am going to see if there's any. My brain is always like, yes, find if there's a guard that can point you in the direction, but the guard would be the enforcers, and nobody
That's
likes the
correct.
enforcers, especially here.
Yeah.
So
There are enforcers in the area. They mainly walk around in pairs of 2 or in groups of 4. There are 2 pairs of 2 on either side of the exit to Cliffdown Row. And you can see that like they keep their distance from most of the people around here.
cool. And I don't really want to be talking with any enforcers anyway, so I'm going to try to see if there is someone nearby who looks like they would be nice enough to point 2 travelers in the direction of a graveyard.
Sure. Sounds good. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, lordy lord. 10.
Okay. You notice that it is a pretty bustling street because it is kind of an intersection between a main thoroughfare. But on one of the corners opposite the Rock Bottom Bar, there is a large cart with this kind of portly cyclops standing next to it. And they have like these large 4-fingered hands. Each one is holding a cabbage. And the Cyclops is holding the cabbage out like under the noses of people that would walk by and going, cabbage, cabbage, 2 copper for cabbage, 2 copper for cabbage. And just everybody seems to be walking past him. But he looks open and friendly.
But I don't want to buy a cabbage right now to get information from this man. I'm sorry to shun your NPC, but the bar is nearby though, right?
Yeah, the Rock Bottom Bar is open.
All right. I guess let's try to venture. I feel like bartenders have a lot of information usually, so maybe we venture into the bar and see if maybe they have some information.
Sure.
We think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, the 2 of you venture into the small kind of square shack-looking establishment that is the Rock Bottom Bar. The square bar room is relatively empty. There's about 7 patrons in here. All of them seem to be kind of like deep in a drink and alone for the most part, with not much else to do with their day. But at the back counter, there is a large male orc with like kind of dark green colored skin, pointy ears, and like very sharp, pointy looking black hair. And they're wearing a brown apron. And they're in the middle of like trying to stack a bunch of mugs. And they see the 2 of you walk in and just go, greetings.
Hi there. I was wondering if you may be able to help us out.
Sure, I can help you with a drink. You want a drink?
Did you
Chill's
want
gonna gag.
We're not quite looking for a drink at the moment, but thank you.
I had a rough night, huh?
You don't even understand. So
water? We got some water?
Do you want water, Shoal?
We could use water.
You could use a lot of water.
He grabs a mug, walks into the back room, and you hear some sloshing. And it sounds like he's dipping the mug into like an open barrel of water, and then comes back out and places the mug in front of you.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better.
We'll put our hand on top of it and just start trying to subtly drink it.
So, I had the question kind of about the area. We're a little more new to town, but I used to have family in the area. Unfortunately, they had passed away, and I'm trying to figure out where they were buried. I'm trying to find where the cemeteries are. I was told, from family and whatnot, that it was in this general vicinity, but I never got specifics, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm needing to be.
Make a deception check.
I am not charismatic.
Oh,
Are you kidding me? No.
this is a 19 for a second there.
It's one of those nights.
It is one of those nights. On a nat 1, he eyes you kind of quizzically and says, so?
No.
Well, what's the family name? Might know of them.
Ivanova?
Could direct you their way. Sorry, what'd you say?
Ivanova?
Ivanova. He takes a moment and says, don't know of any Ivanovas or where they'd be buried. But, the graveyards are up on the cliff tops, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Thank you. That's basically what I was trying to find out, but you know.
We saw that the ship is coming in. Do people die on those boats often?
He looks a little taken aback by the direction of that, where that question ended up, but
I'm taken aback by the direction of that question.
He says, of course, if any good pirate, there's a risk of dying at sea. But if you're a sailor, that's where you're buried. Don't get buried back here.
The ocean is an open grave.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Sure. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you're looking to get from this orc gentleman?
Yes. Can one more question for you. You haven't happened to hear of anyone have you seen a minotaur come through by any chance by the name of Manazi?
Hold on one second here. Let's find out. Sure, I've heard of Manazi. What do you want to know about him?
Has he been through recently, or have you talked to him recently, or has it been a couple months?
Oh, he's out on the Manta's wing. Should be back any day now. Supposed to be back yesterday, I think. Everybody's been waiting. I think they got held up at the blockhouse. Damn lawmakers changing all the import laws back and forth. Can't get any of the ships in.
Well, good to know. I guess I will keep an eye out for when he's back in town then. Thank you.
He gives you a nod.
You said the mantis wing, like praying mantis?
The Manta's wing.
Manta? Oh, like manta ray. I understand. That makes more sense than a praying mantis in the ocean. Great. Perfect. I am going to slip this gentleman a gold piece and say thank you for all of your help.
Well, thank you kindly. Happy to help. And he eagerly grabs up the gold piece and puts it into his apron.
Great. Shoal, are you done drinking your water?
We are.
Great. Thank you again, and off we go.
Bye-bye.
Okay. The two of you walk out, and you are back out on the streets.
Yes.
To be clear, when he said the up on the cliff top, that's where like Job would be, right?
You get the impression that's not what he's referring to. In fact, both of you make a perception check for me.
Don't trust it. Oh wow, I just dropped it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so taking a moment to kind of get a lay of the land here now that you're at the bottom of the bay. The ledge wharfs line either side of the inlet that leads into the bay, but then from the shore, there are several tiers of kind of hilltops and crests that lead up a cliff top of its own, which is kind of the back area of the city, of the docks district. And looking up, you can see there's kind of like 4 rows of separated buildings that lead all the way up. And then at the top, there is kind of a sparse area of cliff top of its own before it's separated by the city walls. You can also see there is a large circular building, kind of like almost like Colosseum in shape, but closed off, and it's about 6 to 8 stories tall. That's on like one of the upper layers there. And then behind it, there are like patches of grass, and you can see smaller buildings that are kind of not on the rock, but actually at the top of the cliff. And you imagine that's probably the cliff top he's referring to in this area.
Gotcha. Great. So shall we head up in that general direction and try to find the graveyard?
We are worried because what if the body is too decomposed? Are we going to have to dig up many bodies?
Well,
We have an idea.
oh,
We can say we ate it.
yes. I think that's what kind of we were thinking.
Yep.
We're just looking for bones. So it doesn't really matter if the body's decomposing or not, because then what we are going to do is maybe supplement by going to like a butcher shop or something and getting some blood and like guts and stuff. Makes sense?
Would Shoal know that, like, how believable it would be to go to like a butcher shop and like get fake blood and organs and things like that?
I think Shoal doesn't have enough of an understanding of what the rest of the population's understanding of anatomy is.
Okay.
I think Shoal would know that you would not be fooled by it, for sure.
Okay.
But Shoal probably also thinks nobody else really gets flesh like I do.
That's
What a
fair.
statement.
Well, if you think that would work, we trust you.
I mean, it's honestly our best shot because otherwise we either have to actually kill a person or not. So this is the best plan we've got. So I mean, the we're just kind of trying to make it look like there was something killed here. So I mean, like, we're just kind of being like, oh yeah, there's maybe like, doesn't need to be like a gruesome scene or anything, but if we got some blood and like put some blood around, so to make it look like something was injured and or killed, and then if we have bones, it can look like you ate it. Do you understand the picture, kind of?
And can we use our blood?
Are you asking about Shoal's blood in particular, or just
The parties.
the party's blood? Okay.
Anna being like, does Shoal bleed?
Yeah, Shoal does bleed, but it's not very recognizable as blood.
So I feel like to make it kind of believable that we have killed something, the amount of blood that we need would probably kill one of us to give. Does that make sense? That's why I was thinking like butcher shop, so that we can get like maybe like a whole bucket or something.
Can you buy a bucket of blood at a butcher?
Maybe. I don't know. Do you think I go around trying to fake kill people and get blood? That's the best thing I could think of. I don't know.
No, we think you just kill people. You don't fake it. You don't have to fake it.
I mean, to be fair, like, I don't always kill people. It's just if people are trying to kill me, I kill them back.
But the kill ring. Do you
We
not
don't-
kill in the kill ring?
No. It's called the kill ring. I don't know why, but it's mostly we just beat the shit out of each other until one of us yields or passes out.
Could we get blood there?
That's in Todmorden. That's not here.
Oh,
That's like a couple days at least. Like, we would not be able to do that in time, unfortunately. But also, I don't know if you'd be able to get enough blood that way either. Like, the amateurs maybe accidentally kill people, but like, I am not an amateur, so.
Shoal wants to see how much blood would be an appropriate amount.
Okay. Make a nature check.
Can I make a medicine check?
Sure, yeah.
Make a blood check.
15.
Blood check for the blood god.
So I think that on a 15, Shoal would have an understanding that it really depends on the type of circumstances you're trying to set up what amount of blood would be required, right? And so there are plausible ways to leave behind bits of blood and skeleton, and maybe someone would assume that's a murder. Or if you wanted to, hang a skeleton upside down and leave an entire body's worth of blood beneath it and make it look like the being was exsanguinated, that would require a totally different amount of blood. So it really depends on the circumstances that you're looking to stage.
And probably a little bit more body than just a skeleton, because that shit's not holding.
Well, if you're looking
together.
to eat, if you're looking to make it appear that the person was eaten.
Yeah, but even then, because skeletons are held together by sinew, if Shoal eats everything except for the bones would just be a pile on the ground. There would be nothing left hanging except maybe a foot.
Correct.
Or
an ankle. Yeah.
Whatever bone that, like a femur? Is it femur? No, femur's upper leg. What's the lower leg?
I don't know.
Tibia and fibula.
I failed my medicine check.
We have a fucking doctor here who could have told us at any point, but just let me struggle trying to figure out the bones of the goddamn body. I'm sitting here being like, oh, which bone is it? And you're just like, no, incorrect. That's wrong. You're wrong.
All right, are the two of you walking while you're having this discussion?
Probably.
Towards the graveyard?
Yeah, so you walk up this path that kind of ascends above the first few rows of buildings and warehouses that are kind of surround the promenade that's by the shore. You come around an intersection, and the path leading up the cliff top to the right leads up to that big red circular building that you saw before. And you can see there's a large crowd of people lined up outside the building. And getting closer to it now, you can see that it has kind of 4 almost like turret-looking towers out on the corners, making kind of corners to this circular structure. And hanging from the one closest to you, you can see a sign that says "The Compass Rose" in kind of gold cursive filigree.
Look, there it is.
There, what is?
The casino. This is the casino that we needed to go to find out about what's his face's disappearance.
Right. Right,
that
yes.
Never got around to because Veo's so fucking needy with all these fucking jobs. God forbid we take a couple days to ourselves to figure something out.
How could you tell?
How could I tell what?
That this is the casino.
Because it says the Compass Rose on it.
Oh.
It did, right?
It did, but Shoal can't read.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
I was about to ask. I was like, he's illiterate. They're illiterate, right?
Correct.
We are.
But nobody
None of
has,
us know that yet.
nobody
though.
has known this. Yes.
I said he because I got confused because Jake also can't read.
Yeah, don't you know? Being in med school, can't read. It's a
Oh, yeah.
miracle. Goddamn miracle.
Little known fact.
Hey guys, my name is Jake. I'm 19 and I can't read. Yeah, there's a sign that says the compass rose right there.
Oh, we thought you were just very familiar with the city, or you
No.
overheard someone talking about it.
No, just reading comprehension. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever been here.
That sounds nice.
Can I do an insight check
Sure.
to see if this man knows how to read? Nope, 7.
Doesn't seem like they choose to read very often. If they do.
Okay. Moving on. But yeah, that's the casino that at some point, I mean, I don't even know if that ship sailed because we didn't have really a timeline of when we were supposed to do that. So, for all we know.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my ruling on this because thinking about it, I think it would be very easy to tell from this conversation. I think a 5 or above, you would be able to tell that Shoal does not know how to read from the context of this. So yes, I'm retconning that call.
Okay.
You could tell.
Anna's gonna kind of stare at him, squint her eyes a little bit, stare at them. Shoal, I have a question for you.
Yes?
Do you know how to read?
No.
You know what? That explains a lot.
Why do you ask?
I was just curious because you asked how I knew that was the place, the casino, and because there's a sign. But if you can't read, then you clearly wouldn't know that that's the casino. So
We're
just
good
curious.
at looking at pictures, though.
I mean, that's awesome. I love that for you. We'll have to teach you how to read at some point. I feel like now is not the time, but at some point we should teach you how to read.
Okay. We would like that very much.
I feel like if something were to ever happen where you got separated and you needed some kind of direction, if there's no one around to help you or no one willing to help you because they're racist, then you should probably know how to read signs.
Yeah.
But that's for another time.
Wait.
Yes.
Does that mean we can also learn how to write?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, that sounds important. We left a note for someone before, but we didn't know what that really means. So we just drew on it.
And they probably didn't know what that meant. Well, we can work on that. For now, though, if since we can't work on that at the moment, if you do need us to transcribe a message for you, we can do that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Continuing on up this path, you eventually get to a high enough level up the cliffside opposite the shoreline that the buildings are becoming much smaller. They look to be mostly like wood-built living establishments of various sizes. And as you ascend to kind of the tippy top of the path, it kind of evens out at plateaus, kind of like the estates do, and there is a small ridge line of grass along the outskirts of kind of the city limits here. And as you get to the top, you can see there are a bunch of like small kind of hut-like establishments. And off to the left of the path that you walked up, you can see a large field of kind of like large rocks and other sculptures. And it's kind of haphazardly fenced in with like a wooden picket fence. And then there are 2 large poles holding up a wooden sign that says Widow's Crest.
This is the cemetery then, or
it looks like a cemetery, yeah.
Okay. So the issue now is that I feel like tombstones aren't going to be like, ah, yes, our wolven friend Marjorie, here she lies, or shit like that. So we're gonna have to figure out something. I'm assuming you don't know what wolven bones look like.
Hmm. Does Shoal know what wolven bones look like?
Make a nature check.
Can I make a medicine check?
Yes.
Big money. One. So that one.
You've never eaten a wolven before.
We haven't. Wait. Was one of the Blackpaw boys a wolven?
No.
Damn.
One
We
with a
have never
lizard.
eaten a wolven before. And we did not bury any when I was working with Job.
Mm.
So we do not know.
So we can't send you into the ground to try to find which one would be a wolven because you wouldn't know if you saw it.
No.
This plan was not fully thought out.
We could see if there's any visitors and dig up their body or the body that they are there for.
That seems so awful. Oh man. None of this is good.
You can see that some of the like tombstones are inscribed and others have various like sculptures to them or like sculpted aspects or iconography. If you wanted to make an investigation check to try and see, you could kind of
Are there
peruse the grounds and see if
any
you.
really old looking ones that look like they have
Oh my god.
wolven face sculpted into what am I doing? Investigation?
Yes.
Please roll higher than a 2.
The DC would be
19.
exceptionally high for Shoal as well because they don't read. So
Oh yeah.
But if it had like a face that's inscribed
yes.
on it, like
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
but mine's a 19.
Yeah.
You
So
got that 19 that was stolen from you.
I did.
you spend like a solid 20 minutes walking through the grounds of this burial area. Eventually you come across this kind of cylindrical sculpted structure. It's made of like some type of granite, and it has these like lupine heads to it that look almost wolf-like. And inscribed on it, it says, "Here lies Clarice Martel, the most wonderful treasure a sailor could dig up. May the breaker keep her until we find our pack again."
Maker or breaker?
Breaker.
This one looks like wolves.
And it does say something about the pack. This word right here, she like is pointing out. This word right here says pack. I know you
Pack.
can't really tell that, but that says pack. So wolvens usually kind of like regular wolves, kind of live in pack situations. So that might be good. But also the plus side, this seems to be a woman.
Perfect.
Now, I feel like because it's like in the middle of the afternoon, right?
Yep.
Okay. I feel like we now know where a body is that we could use. I don't maybe I feel like we should definitely come back at night when there'll be less obvious that we're trying to grave rob. But also maybe we can look in or we can talk to the rest of the group and see like how much we think we need because I don't necessarily feel great about stealing an entire skeleton, but like maybe if we take like part of it, like an arm or like a rib cage or something, or like part of it, like a piece of it, so it doesn't. So we're not. I don't know. That's
We think we should at least take the skull. Because how else will they know it's wolven?
I guess that's true.
And we can always put the bones back.
Well, I don't know if we can though, because we have to leave it there, and then how would we get back into the place to grab a skull that they may have already taken and cleaned up? You know what I mean? I feel like the chances of us getting the pieces back are slim.
Well, aren't we going to let the woman go back to her family?
Yes, eventually.
So then we can get the bones back.
I mean, again, I don't know what they'll do with them once they discover that she is dead. Like, once the crime scene has happened and they bring people in. If they bring people in, because again, we don't know what their reaction is going to be exactly. So I don't know if they're going to be like, oh my God, this skeleton, we must bury it somewhere else. Or if it will be like a case of like, they're like, oh no, we must hide the evidence, we must burn it. Or, they give it over to the enforcers who are like, yes, we'll keep this as evidence for murder or whatever.
But when they do the vote and they vote no and they get their kid back, then they'll be like, oh, it was a mistake. We don't think we're getting this.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I don't know what they're going to do with the bones after the initial scene is found and we leave. So
Okay.
we might not be able to track where this skull or where these bones ended up. So the likelihood of us being able to bring it back to this exact place and rebury it is a little bit slim. That's why I yes, if we keep the skull, at least we know that it's woven, but then it's like, I feel like leaving all the body except for the skull just seems so wrong.
So we should take all the bones then.
No,
So
but then
at least the body's together.
The party is meta head nodding.
it's
Either
dead.
way-
It's disrespectful.
Well,
Either way, we can't do it now because
Killing.
people can see us. It's too bright. So it's probably the best we come back and we can have this conversation with everybody else and see what everybody else thinks. So, whatever I think. I mean, I guess who am I to say something is disrespectful? I'm literally walking around as a meat puppet.
So is it the pair of yours intent to head back and regroup the party at this point?
We could see if there's any butchers in the area that will sell us blood.
yeah, I think that's probably what Joel would want to do.
Okay. So see if that's
Like,
even possible, because if it's not possible, then we might have to change what we're doing anyway.
Like on the way back to where they are, if possible.
Sure. The two of you roll perception checks for me.
I already have a bad feeling about this.
Oh,
But it doesn't matter because Anna's killing it. Yep.
Oh,
23.
Very nice.
Honestly, he says with her +1 and he has a +7 and still got higher.
You, the two of you walk down the path that you just walked up. You go past the Compass Rose again and back down towards the shore level promenade that you had previously been to once to borrow a cart from a harpy. As you are
keeping an eye out to make sure the harpy does not see us.
Shoal is looking for the harpy.
No.
On a 23 perception check, I think it's easy for you to see where the harpy is, as she's in the same place she was before, at a stand that is in the promenade. But I will also say that it catches your eye out of the corner of your eye and eyes for Shoal. That a little ways further into this promenade, there is a small shop that has like a mutton chop sign. And Anna, you would be able to read that it says Grinning Al's Best Bits. It looks like a butcher shop.
This looks like a butcher shop.
This is a very astute observation.
Shall we?
Did the harpy have a cart?
Did the harpy have a cart?
The harpy did not have a cart. No.
Should.
And it looks like there's noticeably less stuff at her stand.
Oh God.
Should we tell her that we are working on getting her a new cart?
No, I think we should just leave the poor woman be.
Okay.
We'll probably just cause her more distress, and also she might like turn us into the authorities.
And then you see her sleeping on the street because she's homeless now.
It's a few sessions from now.
Oh my god.
I would like to say that was never my idea in the first place, so I will not take the blame for that.
We need to get that woman her cart. A bigger, better cart.
Buy her an entire wagon with a horse.
Do the two of you head towards the butcher shop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll pick that up in a second. But first, meanwhile, Flynn, you are making your way towards the docks. What are you seeking out?
That is such a great question. I don't have, neither myself nor Flynn has a plan. They just are kind of aimlessly finding themselves walking towards the docks.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
Roofies, chloroform.
Right.
Rugs.
So about this time, it's like mid-afternoon. At this point, it's kind of dark overcast. As you walk down Cliff Down Row, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. $10. Perfect in the middle.
Killing it.
You notice that there's a big ship down by the docks. There's a bunch of people unloading a lot of stuff off of it currently. Other than that, nothing of interest stands out to you, and you make your way down to shore level. And the day is yours. You're welcome to seek out whatever you like. The Rock Bottom Bar is right across the way from the intersection when you get to the bottom of Cliff Down Row. And you know the promenade is just ahead of that, further in towards the shore.
I think the recent conversation with the party has kind of broken the distraction that this enforcer thing has created, and I'm just kind of like focused on looking at the different ships, kind of scanning them to see if I see anything. I know I've asked a few pirates about like if there's anyone that keeps track of where different pirate ships like go, like their jurisdiction. So if there's any like, I don't even the name of them, but like ledge keepers, whatever, I could talk to. I might try to do that.
Sure. Yeah. So you're able to walk further in towards the promenade, and you get to like the docks area. The promenade is filled with pirates and sailors. It's a very raucous and loud place. It smells a lot like VO and fish.
Lovely.
And there are a lot of different fights going on. There are some that look like organized fight rings. And then there's also, it looks like a lot of people who have just decided to start beating each other up and are doing so in the open streets here. But as you get closer to the actual docks, you can see a bunch of like people walking around unloading things, and there seems to be kind of like a whole trail of pirates, different Fomorians, coming from that large dock where that large ship was. And it looks like they're all making a beeline towards one particular building. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. 8.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see that they are all making their way towards this large lodge looking structure. It has like 3 floors. Each of the floors has like its own full round deck like section. You can see there are a bunch of pirates that are kind of lounging and drinking on the decks. There are a few like I'm forgetting the name of them. Hammocks. There are a few hammocks set up between some of the pillars that support each of them. There seem to be various Fomorians of different sizes and shapes drinking and lounging on them. And you see all the pirates seem to be heading towards that building. Unfortunately, with an 8, you do not see any like dock officers that stand out to you.
Okay.
But you can always, if you wanted to, try and make an insight check to see if you can see if one of these pirates might be willing to talk to you.
This isn't exciting. I don't think Flynn is in the mood to talk to pirates right now. I think he's a little put off and just kind of in his head. So I think he just kind of keep walking for now, just taking note, like
Sure.
what he saw.
Yeah, as you walk closer, you can see that structure that all those pirates are heading towards, you can see now that it's got a big sign out front that has kind of this green cursive script across it that says the Pillager's Plunge.
Okay.
I'll put that in the chat for you. And it looks like, for the most part, all of the establishments in this kind of promenade area are either warehouses or like large bars and things of that nature.
Okay.
Anything else that you're looking for?
I'll go into one of the large bars I walk by.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
2.
Okay. You find this kind of long rectangular building that has this very odd, almost like adobo, like a like shell roof, and there is a large doll standing at the front door of this establishment, and it has a sign up top that says the Longshoreman's Hall. And as you approach, they eye you quizzically for a second, and they'll just kind of give you a nod and open the door for you.
Uh-oh. I go in. I'll nod back. Okay.
You walk into this large, open, kind of like a gathering hall space that is filled with circular tables, and the entire room is a big mixture of toys and Fomorians. All of them are wearing like relatively plain clothes, like sailors' pants and tunics. Some of them are wearing like caps and stuff like that, but you don't see any like pirates' hats or anything of that nature. No like long trench coats or anything like that. In the back is a kind of circular bar top, and there is a like 6-foot tall female gnoll that is wearing this long kind of gray dress and an apron, and there are 3 large barrels behind her that are tapped, and there's a big line of toys and Fomorians that are all waiting at the bar, and she's just kind of rapidly filling up mugs and handing them out.
I'll get in line.
Okay.
Kind of start eavesdropping.
Sure. As you are eavesdropping, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I would love to.
You can do it.
We're going down.
Take it back. I'm
A
sorry.
7.
You're able to hear what other folks are saying, but a lot of it doesn't mean too much to you. It seems like a lot of them are talking about the day's work. And most of them are talking about the recent unloading that they've had to do, which is of a ship called the Manta's Wing. And how it's been frustrating for them because they've had to wait a couple days when they're all hired to do this. And that they are glad to finally have their aspect of it over with and finally be able to afford their drinks. But you don't hear any other details that really stand out to you. A short period of time passes, and you are finally first in line at this bar, and that is where we'll return after our break.
I can't tell if Ethan is perfectly still or if he's frozen.
I think he's frozen.
I think he's
He's
frozen.
definitely frozen.
I think he's so shocked that he disconnected.
That
Oh,
is such a hilarious thought to freeze.
I was like looking at him. I was just like, wow. There, there he goes. Yeah, no, that was very funny because I was just like, I can't tell if he just found like the perfect position to freeze him.
Oh,
and
this
listen.
stream is broken right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
no.
because he hopped off.
the whole
All right,
time I
well.
was like, oh, he must be really happy with this news. I don't know why he's so excited about this, but yeah, all right. Well, we will get that figured out over the course of our break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. In the meantime, we are also doing a giveaway for a dice box. There will be a form posted in the chat for those of you who are interested in being entered to win that. So be sure to fill that out, and we will announce the winner when we return from our break. Great. See you then. All right, and welcome back. Congratulations to Ben Jagaba, who is the winner of our Dice Box giveaway. Congratulations, and keep an eye out in your email for more information about how to receive your giveaway prize.
Nice,
All
nice,
right,
nice.
getting back into the campaign. Flynn,
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
there is this large kind of burlish doll that walks away from the bar top with two mugs filled with beer, and the female Knoll turns around to regard you and eyes you quizzically and says, "Well, you're new here." And
Buzz from Monsters Inc.
yeah, that's right. She says, "How can I help you?"
Flynn Casey, where's your paperwork?
Just some ale, like everyone else.
She leans over the countertop a little bit, and almost you can kind of hear her lightly like sniffing in your direction. And she goes, "Who do you work for?"
I'm kind of finding employment right now. I heard there was some need for pirates, and I'm just getting my lay of the land.
She goes, "There's no pirates here, honey. Don't you know where you are? This is
Honestly,
the Longshoreman's Hall."
I got a little turned around, if I'm being honest. So who do all these people work for?
"These are the dock workers, honey.
Oh.
We don't do the pirating." And she kind of gestures with one arm out, and you can see like pretty much everybody in this room looks like very strong and very working class. None of them seem to have like a sailor's guard to them.
Okay.
And she says, "So ask again, who are you working for?"
No, I guess I'm just wasting your time. I'm in the wrong place. I apologize.
Did Oleg let you in?"
Is that the doll out front?
"Yeah."
Yeah, they just nodded me right in. That's why I thought I was in the right place, but
"He's a racist bastard."
oh, okay. That's rough.
"He thinks that every toy that walks into this place works for us, I guess. I'll have a talk with him." "Listen, I'm sorry, honey, but you're in the wrong place. So if there's somewhere else I can point you to, I'd be happy to do it. But you can't stay here."
I apologize. I'm sorry. No, I'll just be on my way then. Thank you.
"You have a good day now."
You as well.
Okay.
How awkward.
Make a perception check.
Hey, that's a roll. 17.
On a 17, as you're walking away, you hear kind of a hollow whistle, like and kind of slightly turning back out of the corner of your eye, you see that the Knoll has leaned over the side of the bar and called one of the patrons over, and is kind of talking to them and pointing at you.
I will walk quickly.
Okay.
I believe.
Where's Flynn headed now?
Just an isolated spot by the water.
Okay. Yeah. It's difficult to find in the center of the promenade. But when you head to the side, it's actually rather close to where you and Anna climbed up over the side of the promenade to escape the enforcers before. But it's relatively clear, and you're able to kind of set up there.
All right. I'd kind of like to stealthily hide just to make sure no one is gonna spot a lone person
Sure.
as like a target, but still try to be there.
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Well, 9.
Okay. You kind of put yours back against this like pile of crates that seem like they haven't been moved in a long time. They have like a cloth dangling over them, and you kind of try to make yourself scarce behind it as you set up here. And what is it that you're looking to do?
I'm just kind of watching the water, watching the ships, just kind of having a moment. I'm not really doing much. Nothing exhilarating.
Okay.
Is this like sunset time? I'm at like late afternoon.
It's getting there. It's late afternoon, but it's not late enough that the sun would be setting. But because of how overcast it is starting to get a little dark.
Okay. I'll probably just wait until it does get dark and then head back.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Okay. You hear footsteps approaching. And then the large doll that greeted you on your way into the longshoreman's hall comes around the corner and attempts to hit you with their mace.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Hold on 1 second here.
You make
Go ahead.
one mistake and they try to beat the shit out of you.
Go ahead and roll for
It
initiative.
was their mistake.
That's insane.
Oh my god. I'm gonna die.
Okay.
I got a 7.
You see another female poppet who is about like 6'3". The person that the gnoll was speaking to when you walked out also comes around the corner and attempts to strike you twice.
Good luck.
They miss with a natural 1. And their mace goes into the crates behind you with like a crack and gets stuck there. And they do not make the 2 melee attacks for their turn. And the large doll attempts to grapple you. Make a strength check.
God. Save or a check? Is there a difference?
Yeah, so make I believe it's a save, yeah. Or no, it's an athletics or acrobatics check. So if you have a bonus on those, you can use those.
Acrobatics would be +4.
Okay. Yeah, so a 15 plus 4 is a 19. So the doll comes up and attempts to wrap its burly arms around you.
Little do they know I'm covered in oil.
Yeah, you just scramble and are able to duck out of the way. And it is your turn to act. What do you do?
I
Run.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna thunder wave
Okay.
You are
Yeah.
brave.
because I'm mad.
Yeah, so you kind of squirrel your way out of their grasp, and he says, "Hey, come here!" And you go ahead and thunder wave. What is the save for that?
For the Constitution.
And what's the DC?
That is a great question. How do I figure that out again?
It's whatever your spell save DC is. It should say on the spell when you open it up. It's 14.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. The doll saves with an 18, but the poppet does not.
Okay. So it's 2d8 if they fail, and
Okay.
it's half of that for success.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Also push on a fail or no?
My God.
Okay.
Yeah, the one who failed gets pushed 10 feet away.
All right.
Also, all unsecured objects within the area are automatically pushed 10 feet away as well.
Okay. So there is a large commotion as this stack of like 3 crates high gets blasted aside. Also, with that failure, because that poppet had their mace stuck in the box, I'm going to say that 10 feet of knockback knocks them into the water over the side of the promenade.
Good.
And so you just hear, "Whoa!" and there's a large splash. And you can hear like the like splinters landing all across the stone of the promenade. And you gather you probably have drawn the attention of quite a few people as
Yeah.
Thunderwave is a wave of thunderous force that sweeps out from you.
People hear it 300 feet away.
Yeah.
Any chance that Anna and Shoal are 300 feet away?
Or within the vicinity to have heard it?
I'm going to say that timing-wise, yeah, you guys would also be in the promenade.
Is it like,
So,
is it
Does
like
this put them in the
like,
past?
what?
But does this put them in the past?
No, because Flynn was later to arrive at the docks because he already was doing stuff up in the. That's why I did him second.
Is this gonna be like that the moment of like Five and Vanya like on the cars going by each other in the
That's
Umbrella Academy,
exactly
and they're
right.
just like staring at each other, being like, "Wait a second."
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the two of you roll a luck check. So just both of you roll d20s.
Oh God.
16.
Oh.
9.
16 is good enough. So I'm going to say the two of you are walking towards Grinning Al's best bits, where all of a sudden you hear a thunderous boom, and there is a rain of splinters that comes flying over some of the shops and the stands by where the harpy is. And there are some cries as some people begin running. And yeah, you hear this noise.
Anna's gonna immediately turn around and try to like see like where that came from.
Yeah, both of you roll initiative.
Great.
Just to be clear, I was also going to use my movement to
5.
run
Yeah.
30 feet away.
Sure.
16.
Oh dear.
And now you're looking to run out of the promenade at this point, correct?
Yeah. First, I'm going to do my temp health thing. Defense
Sure.
matrix,
Mhm.
whatever it's called.
And how much temp HP is that?
It's 3.
3? Yeah. Now the doll is not knocked back, and they're still
You
within
mean to
range
put
of you.
that
So
in
you would.
the wound?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was like, wait a second.
I'm cheating.
Yeah, I'll take the hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that. So as you are making a run for it, he swings again at you with his mace
Mm-hmm.
and misses with a 10.
Nice.
And you are off. And your 30 feet of movement will get you out of this kind of deserted corner of the end of the promenade and a bit closer towards like the entrance of what would be kind of the market square of the promenade where the rows of stands begin.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to say because Shoal, you got a 16 on initiative, you would be the next to act here. So what does Shoal do?
So what does Shoal see? Like we're still far enough away where like we don't see anything, right? We just heard the explosion.
You hear the explosion and you see a bunch of people that are kind of running out around this corner of like the docks area that's close to the shore. And you don't see much else besides that, unless you'd like to make a perception check.
No. Shill's gonna turn to Anna and say, "Do you think we can get blood there?"
Oh god. Oh. I mean, am I able to answer?
Yeah, you can respond in like a short
Okay.
3 to 6 seconds.
I mean, I still feel like that's not going to be. It's going to be frowned upon if we go to whatever is happening there and finding blood.
Let's go find blood.
Oh no.
Shoal is going to go 30 feet towards the
No.
explosion.
Okay. Yeah, so the corner that we're looking at here is about 60 feet away from where you were standing. So you're about halfway to being around the corner.
Okay. Is that within blind sense? Like, is Flynn within blind sense?
Flynn is not within blind sense yet. No, because they have not rounded the corner yet.
Okay. We will take the it's not called sprint. It's
Dash.
dash action and go slowly, not slowly, but like
Can't
5
slow.
feet increments until we see like what the deal is.
Yeah, so after another 10 feet of movement diagonally towards this corner, you can sense that Flynn is running at a fast pace around the other side. You recognize the shape of them in your blind sense.
We will go, I guess, 50 total feet and go loud enough for Anna to hear. Hi, Flynn.
Okay. Anna, you hear Flynn's name get dropped. And that's going to bring us to the top of the initiative order. The thug is going to pursue the doll. They have 30 feet of movement as well, so they are able to get right behind you, Flynn, and they are going to attempt to grapple you again. So go ahead and make another athletics or acrobatics check.
16.
They got a 3, so on a 5, you still succeed and you're able to escape their grasp. And as he runs up, he's just like, "Come here, you!" and again tries to wrap his arms around you, and you just duck. That is their turn. On the Poppet's turn, you can hear some splashing in the water a little bit. And then you can see them climbing up over the kind of railing of the promenade. And they are making their way towards you, but they don't have all their movement, so they're not able to make it all the way. Shoal, it is your turn.
Seeing somebody try to attack Flynn.
Uh-oh.
Do not put your hands on our friend. And we're going to throw a dart.
Okay.
We're going to try to throw a dart. And hit them in the eye. We got a 9.
A 9 unfortunately misses. You go ahead and throw, and it just goes like right in between their shoulder and their ear, and does not hit. And the dart goes flying off behind them and into the water.
That was a warning. And I think we'll back up to 10 feet.
Okay.
Closer to Anna.
I just realizing I skipped you, Anna, in our first round. So you would be able to do something before all of this happens.
I mean,
so what would Anna be doing?
She probably would have just been like, "Fuck," and then ran to follow.
Okay.
But not
So we'll say
dashing, just going her normal 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll say you're 30 feet closer to this encounter at this point. Okay, and then so Shoal, you miss with your dart, and then Flynn, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'll turn and just be like, what is your problem? I didn't do anything. You let me in. And then I'm gonna try to punch him like away from me.
Okay. Are you looking to hurt him or are you looking to make a shove attack?
I'm looking to shove him.
Okay. Yeah. Um, go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh no.
You can do it.
7.
Oh, oh. He almost got a natural 1, but instead gets a 19 and gets a 21.
You stole my
Oh.
19.
Next time, lead with the 19 part.
He
Because
hurts my hand.
So yeah, you are not able to push him back.
He's so strong.
But as you say, like, you let me in, you can see that he looks like his pride is a little hurt that he did. And he's like, I know, but we have some questions for you.
So questions means hit with mace?
Right?
You can ask them, asshole.
He still just scowls back at you.
I will.
What a mess.
I'll do another. Oh no, I didn't get hit last time. I don't. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'll do.
Okay. That will make it Anna's turn.
Anna's gonna.
You can definitely, from 30 feet away, you still can't see Flynn, but you can hear the interaction that just happened.
Mhm.
So you at least know Flynn is there and that he's having some type of like confrontation with somebody over there.
And how far away would he be from me now?
He would be like 35 feet, right? You didn't move, Flynn.
No.
Yeah, so he'd be like 35, 40 feet away.
Then I will run my 30 feet and when I would like be able to get around the corner to see them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see after 38 feet of movement. Yeah.
I'll just like run over and be like, what the fuck is going on over here?
The doll immediately says, "None of your business."
It is my business because that's my fucking friend. So you better start fucking explaining why you're attacking him for no fucking reason.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
His eyes are kind of darting now between the 3 figures in front of him. He says, "Then we have some questions for you too."
Oh.
You don't even fucking know me.
Do you have questions for us?
Yes.
aren't you out of season?
Okay.
You only get one question and you used it with that.
Top of the round. The doll is going to attempt to attack Flynn again. They miss with their first attack, but hit. They got a 6 on their first attack. They get a 23 on their second attack. And their mace just kind of collides with your shoulder, Flynn, dealing 7 damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
That wasn't a question.
and that is their turn. Then around the side of the pile of crates that you were standing behind, the poppet comes running out as well and uses their dash action to catch up to Flynn. But that's their turn. And Shoal, that would make it your turn.
All right. Let's try this again. Throw a dart. And 19.
Ooh.
A 19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. And you're throwing this dart at the doll?
The one that's actually hitting Flynn.
Yeah.
A 5.
Okay.
All right. Let's have them move 15 feet, if possible, towards Anna. because I think Anna has some business with this guy.
Okay. Yeah, so as your dart flies out, a bunch of your swarm fly out with it, and the dart hits, and the doll kind of reels back from it a little bit, but then the rest of the swarm hit and move him sideways, like around and over.
He can contest.
Oh, he can contest. Okay, great. What does he
Yeah.
do to do that?
Strength against my spell DC, which is wisdom something.
I believe your DC is... Hold on, I can check here.
Is it enough?
13.
Oh.
So he fails on a 12, and so he does move, and now he is directly within melee range of Anna.
It is our turn to ask questions now, and we ask questions like you do.
Okay. Flynn, it is your turn to act.
I'm going to magic missile the doll.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for your missiles. Oof.
Wow. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so you hold up your flare, and these 3 streaking red flare lights go colliding into his torso. And there's like a sizzling. He cries out in pain as he takes 10 damage.
I'm gonna like maneuver around the poppet that's in range of me, so that if the doll wanted to come attack me, they would have to like leave Anna's range, right? If that makes sense.
So you're looking to move to the other side of the poppet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that you're no longer in the doll's attack range without them chasing after you and leaving
Yes.
Anna's range.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. Anna, it is your turn. You have this doll being pushed over to you. They are now within your grasp.
Dice are so scary because, like, I want to do cool things, but it really depends.
I'll let the dice tell the story.
All right. I guess she's gonna try to just like straight up, like as he's being pulled towards, she's just gonna like kick him in the abdomen.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. 26. Yeah.
26
Like
definitely hits.
right for the solar plexus, just like
Okay.
right under.
Guys
his...
getting combo.
Oh, not the solar.
Yeah, for real.
Sorry, the diaphragm. The solar.
Okay.
The solar plexus. She wants to kick him like right in the stomach.
Sure.
Liver shot.
Yeah, with a 26, you definitely do that. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay. Yeah, he kind of skids across the stone of the promenade, his legs kind of flailing a little as he gets carried and pushed over to right next to you. And as he arrives there, you just extend your foot right into his chest and kick him super hard. And he lets out a loud, "Ugh!" and
Okay.
takes 6 damage.
And then I'm going to action surge to hit him again.
Okay. Roll another attack. Oh, no.
Oh my god. How
Never
is that
mind.
the 4th nat 1 of the night?
Looks like it, yeah.
With the 4th of ours. The foes got 1.
2 for me.
But fuck.
Unfortunately, an 8 does not hit. Anything else on your turn, Anna?
I'm gonna silently cry to myself.
Mm.
No, I feel like I have a build that doesn't really have a lot of extra things that I can do as bonus actions. Yeah, no, that'll be it.
Okay. Top of the round, the doll is going to attempt to hit you back with their mace. And just kind of scowls at you and it's just like, back off, bitch, and goes to hit you and hits with a 20. Dealing 4 damage, and then goes around to swing and hit you again on the backhand. Getting an 8 to hit, which misses.
All right, well, she's lightly smoking.
Just
a dab of smoke.
The poppet takes a look at the situation, kind of looks you up and down, Flynn, and then looks over at Anna, and then moves away from you and moves towards Anna, so you can take an attack of opportunity.
Absolutely.
Why is everyone picking a fight with me now?
Because you actually hit somebody.
Yeah, all I did was kick one dude.
Pretty
18.
freaking hard.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And this is with my Thunder Gauntlet. So they get disadvantage on anyone that isn't me.
Okay.
Mine was just a +1 to my thing, right?
Hmm?
Yeah,
you have +1 to your unarmed strikes. Okay, the poppet runs away and runs up to Anna. They actually get advantage on targets that they have an ally next to, so this attack will just be normal.
Why would they normally have disadvantage?
Well, they just got disadvantage from being hit by Flynn.
Ah, okay, I understand.
And they go to attack you twice with their mace, hitting first with a 21 to hit, which deals 6 damage.
Right.
And then hitting again with a... Oh. Wait a second. That rolled, but it didn't result in the chat. Okay, well, we're going to roll that again. And they hit with a 22, dealing
Just hit me.
8 damage.
Ow.
And so the two of them are just starting to kind of gang up on you, Anna, just starting to pummel you with their maces.
Yeah, and I am becoming a black blob of...
I like how I caused this and they immediately just checking out.
Shoal, it is your turn to act.
Right?
Gonna throw there one's a doll, one's a poppet, right?
Correct.
And the doll is the weak one.
The doll is significantly more injured than the poppet, yes.
Okay.
So the poppet did get a good strike straight to his...
Oh, nice. That was the doll that you hit, Anna. That's why they're so injured.
Oh. But the doll's like the big burly
6
dude.
damage, that's it?
Oh,
You
no.
rolled 2 1s. That's so brutal.
That's awful.
We'll use our swarm to deal another D6.
No.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that D6.
Another one?
What the heck?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
All right,
Wow.
so you deal 7 damage with a well-aimed dart that goes right into the chest of this doll as they're trying to attack Anna. They cry out in pain, but yeah,
It's a big burly doll.
it is a big burly doll.
We need your blood. So, thank you for helping us out with this.
The doll kind of
please-
looks at you like, what the fuck?
He's gonna have
Yikes.
questions now. Oof.
Yikes, yikes, yikes. I wish my smoke could immediately cause fear
That'd be pretty cool.
because it's just so like unheard of.
Like advantage
Rare.
to intimidation checks.
Yeah. But it doesn't. So Flynn, it's your turn.
No.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep.
Sorry. I will shoot the doll with my crossbow.
Okay.
20.
A 20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
6.
Not one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You fire your crossbow, and Anna, you watch as the doll's throat explodes and a crossbow bolt comes out of front of it. Like,
Oh,
and they
Someone get a
collapse to the ground.
Oh my god.
And they are dead.
I'm
There's one blood bag.
so
It's-
sick of this city.
It's
And
broad
then-
daylight, isn't it?
Correct.
my
Oh,
crossbow.
This is a
and
crowded promenade as well.
God.
They
Oh,
started it.
yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Hey, now the whole party is going to be wanted, so that's good news. I mean,
The whole. I mean, oh right.
We were just
Joel will
defending
be double
ourselves.
wanted.
Why are we going to be wanted when we were just defending ourselves?
I mean,
We did kill somebody.
Yeah, but it was in self-defense.
That
Anna,
is
it's
my
your turn.
turn. Yeah.
What would you like to do?
So the poppet is also within melee of me.
Yeah, the poppet is like looking down, horrified at the dead body of their comrade.
All right, well, I'm gonna try to hit him.
This is what happens when Ruben's not around. You guys.
Oh, like you are able to
It
control
happened when you were around as
So
well.
Anna's gonna
killed an
like
enforcer on your.
Oh, yeah.
double fist smash down on the poppet.
Yeah, you with 21
Oh.
that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
11,
Ooh.
Nice.
and I just
I
wanna
rolled a
make
crit, and you rolled double my damage.
just the way the cookie crumbles. I think I only get one extra surge, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's. Oh wait, hold on. Can I? Am I allowed to use a superiority die to use menacing attack, which is when I hit a creature with a weapon, weapon attack, I can make him scared of me?
Sure.
And it says when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die to attempt to frighten the target. You add the superiority die to the attack damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it is frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
What?
Go ahead and roll the d8.
Okay, I was like, what's my superiority die?
Yeah, it's a d8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7. So I add the superiority die to my attack damage, so that would be 8. Would that be then 18?
Yes.
Is that how that works? Okay.
Mhm.
And so is it he has to make more than an 18?
No. So the save is it's your strength bonus, I believe, onto your proficiency. But it doesn't matter because they rolled an 11, so they definitely fail.
Great. So now they're scared of me.
Yep. Top of the
Checks out.
round, the poppet kind of stammers and looks at you like with fear in their eyes and says, "The Mongers will never let you get away with this," and starts running. He takes the dash action, the disengage action, and starts running.
Ah, shit.
And she starts running off into the crowd.
Gang wars.
Um,
I'm so frustrated though, because I'm like, they're not gonna let us get away with this when they're the ones that fucking attacked us first. Cool.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Well,
they're gangs.
so if they
it's
took
weird.
this-
It's like these gangs don't really appreciate justice or like guilty.
Where's
Innocent
the-
until proven guilty.
Yeah.
where's the ethics in it all? if they only disengage, they're still within chasing distance of us.
Correct. They are 30 feet away from Anna, which puts them like 20 feet away from Shoal. But it also puts them into now a crowd of people.
Hmm.
All right, it's Shoal's turn.
Fireball.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Here. So I should thunder wave.
Dart attack.
Ooh.
8.
Ooh.
8 misses, unfortunately.
All right.
And a dart goes flying off into the crowd.
You
Kills a child,
you
you know.
hit the harpy.
You hear a, "My leg!"
Wait, actually, like,
No, I'm
just
just
killing anybody?
No.
Okay.
No,
My
the dart
leg
clatters
head.
to the stone. Yeah.
Shoal's gonna chase.
Okay.
I guess getting within
Yeah, you get it within melee range of them.
Yeah.
Kill them. Snapper's windpipe.
All right. That would make it Flynn's turn.
Are they within 30 feet of me?
They are not within 30 feet of you because you were 10 feet away from where Anna was. They're about like 40 feet away from you now.
Okay. Then
You could run forward.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll run the 30 feet to get them within 10. And I'll try to shoot them with my crossbow, I guess.
Okay.
Because why not? More murder.
Yes.
23 hits. Go ahead and
Two
roll
blood
damage.
bags. One
12.
significantly smaller than the other.
12 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they dead?
They cry out in pain as the crossbow bolt collides into their shoulder blade. They are not dead, but they are on death's door.
You just said the wrong thing. And that's my turn.
Oh. Are they?
All right, Anna, it is your turn.
All right, Anna's pivoting and fucking sprinting after that bitch.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to catch up because they ran 30 feet.
All right, I'm gonna try to attack her. That's gonna be a punch straight to the back of the head.
Yeah, 22 hits.
She's just gonna fucking run up and be like, bam! Right into, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, ma'am.
Go ahead and roll damage.
6.
Okay. That is just enough.
Lethal?
On, is that lethal damage?
Oh hell yeah, it's lethal.
All right. You punch her in the back of the head, and she just hits the ground. Her head cracks against the stone of the promenade, and there's a splatter of blood as she is dead, and her head split open on the ground.
And Anna is just like standing there breathing heavy with like just black wisps of like smoke coming off of her. She looks like a fucking menace.
Yeah. And the three of you are out of combat, and you look up and look around at this full promenade of hundreds of people all staring directly at you.
Anna's just gonna go, what?
And that is where we'll pick up next week.
You guys were
Oh
just
my
here to
God.
enjoy the story.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
That went where I did not expect.
Meanwhile, Ruben enjoy a nice.
Yeah, they have some nice wine.
Yeah, we're just hanging out in the where are we again? Nice
The old
place.
cup inn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We just really wanted to make sure that everyone in the party was wanted.
Well,
Perfect.
you did that for sure.
we should pass on the raid too, by the way. Just
Yeah,
put that
absolutely.
up.
All right.
Buckle up, y'all. You're gonna watch another stream.
The D&D continues. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you tune in next week to see how all this chaos resolves.
Real.
Until then, thank you very much for watching, and let the dice tell the story. Have a good night.
Night.